killer who may be in this room. We believe you are hiding in plain sight.
Keep your baby close to you. There's someone out there.
What's up, Mob Crew? I'm Chris, and today's missing person case is Dawn. Also, today's person of interest is Olivia. Today's missing person case is Corey.
What's going on there, ma'am? We were kidnapped. Hurry, please.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys can hear me okay, please put a 1 in the chat. I am Chris with Monsters Under Our Bed. I cover murder, mystery to the paranormal. And today we're going to be covering the Idaho students. I've been doing a lot of homework on the BodyCam surveillance, and we'll kind of dive into that in a minute. But before we get started, I'm going to quickly plug my affiliate, my Patriot Supply, real quick while everybody kind of filters in.
Mob Crew and friends, are you prepared for the widespread food shortages ahead? Farmers have been warning us for months, but are we listening? They say it's beyond their control, especially with the fertilizer crisis. Bottom line, food shortages will be a harsh reality very soon. That's why you should get ready now with emergency food from My Patriot Supply. And good news, today you'll save 20% on their 3-month food kit. These kits provide delicious, easy to make breakfasts, lunch, dinner, snacks, drinks for one person for 3 solid months. Get one for each member of your family while you're able to save 20% during this timely sale. Remember, My Patriot Supply is the nation's largest preparedness company with millions of families already protected. These 3-month food kits, which average 2,000 calories a day, are in stock and ready to go. Your order ships fast and free and arrives in unmarked boxes. Go to preparewiththemobcrew.com. Those who know what's coming are already prepared. Are you? Prepare with www.preparewiththemobcrew.com. Thank you so much.
Okay, shout out to My Patriot Supply for being an affiliate with this channel. Okay, before we get started, if you're newer to the channel, I always try to give back by helping with the missing. So we like to show a couple of missing person posters at the beginning. So today we have Chanel Lynn Strangeow. She was last seen, looks like a week ago on the 12th of December, missing from Billings, Montana. She is thought to have been abducted at gunpoint by her ex-boyfriend, Lawrence Demarius. Police issued a notice on 12/11 that Chanel was located safe. She has since then been kidnapped. Wow. On the 12th, and they could be seen in a 2018 maroon Chevy Colorado, plate 344673D, or a gray 4-door truck. So here's Chanel. I guess this is Demarius. He is armed, so if you have any information, please call 911 or 406-657-8200. She is 30 years old, black hair, brown eyes. And we've got one more. This is Carly Peyton Jackson. She's just 14 years old. Went missing on the 9th of this month. She was last seen wearing a black hooded sweatshirt, lounge pants. She was last seen on 16th Street and East St. Catherine Avenue. Carly is in need of medication for a medical condition, and the family is concerned for her welfare. If you have any information, please contact the Phoenix Police Department at 602-534-2121. And she is 14 years old, missing from Phoenix, Arizona. So, okay, let's get started. So, I've been doing a lot of research with the body cam footage because one of our biggest tips that the public can help is right now is the White Hyundai Elantra. So we'll just look at, let's see, just kind of look at the notes here. So they're looking at a White Hyundai Elantra between 2011 and 2013. Now we finally learned what the source of this White Hyundai Elantra, where it came from. And we learned this about 4 or 5 days ago. And basically it came from a rental unit, a six unit building that is on Linda Lane, and there's a camera that overlooks Taylor Avenue, and there was a car that's seen going by west. And so the landlord that owns the unit said that detectives showed up the next day after the murders and collected their surveillance. They wanted everything from 2 a.m. through noon on Sunday the 13th. And as we go down here, he says that in the footage, there's what looks to be a white, and he says white and light colored car that is traveling west on Taylor Road sometime between 2:45 and 3:15 a.m. So that's huge. So we know that there was some officers that were out doing a citation. Pull this up so you guys can see. So we have officers that were basically right by Taylor Ave, and they kind of got there. The guy turns on his camera about 2:55, but they were probably there maybe 2:50. So, and then they're pretty much there. I think his camera gets shut off just right after like 3:16 a.m. And so basically from 2:55 to 3:15 a.m., almost for the most part, there's a couple times where they're not looking, but for the most part, since there's two officers, there's at least one of them that is pointed towards Taylor Ave Road. So if we deduce the odds that between 2:55 and 3:15, which is the 20 minutes out of the 30-minute window, that these officers are looking at Taylor Ave, I think it's a great possibility that they captured this car, unless it just happened to drive by between that 2:45 and 2:55, or 2:50, excuse me. 2:55 period. But I think it's odd that he would say, the window is 2:45 and 3:15 if the car like showed up just right after 2:45 or something. I mean, it's possible. But anyway, so I broke down all the footage. We'll watch it together. There is, from what I've noticed, there is 4 vehicles that are caught on this, the police body cam footage between the two officers. So we'll go ahead and break that down. I've got the minutes, and we'll slow down each vehicle that comes by and which way it's heading. There's basically 4 vehicles, 2 vehicles that are captured heading west, and 2 vehicles captured heading east. So, of course, we're more interested in the vehicles heading west, but we're going to look at all of them. So let me pull up. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, I'm going to skip it forward here to about here. All right, so I'm going to, is this it? Is this the starting of it? No, this isn't the starting of it. Okay, here's the starting of it. And so basically, since it's 20 minutes, there's a total of 40 minutes, 20 minutes per officer. We're not gonna, watch it minute, regular speed. I kind of sped up the video to where it's now just 6 minutes. And so we'll kind of look at it together, and then we're going to look at each vehicle and then let you guys kind of see what you guys think about each vehicle. I think a lot of people got deterred right away because when this body cam footage came out, people are saying, oh, we see a white car, but they were talking about the officer's undercover car. And so not long after they released this, the Moscow Police Department put out a statement saying the vehicle that you see in the footage is not the white car. But what they're talking about is this car right here, because there's another 4 cars that go by, but they only talk about one vehicle. And I'm like 100%, I would say 90% sure that the vehicle they're talking about is the vehicle that the officers are walking to. So here we go. I've got it kind of sped up, but if you look at your top right corner here, we've got 255. And so I've got it kind of sped up. But so far, no vehicles have gone by. I gotta take a sip here. And our first car is going to approach, which is the car that I think is the car that could be possibly the White Hyundai Elantra. And it's going to come by here in just a minute. So I kind of put it back. I kind of slowed it down so it's not going as fast. But this car is going to come by here in about a couple of seconds here. So this is the first car. So there's our first car at 258. And 258. I need to grab my coffee. So, and this is the car that I really think could be possibly the White Hyundai Elantra. I mean, if you think about the time frame that this neighbor's talking about, it's almost right in the middle. If it was like 3 o'clock, that'd be perfectly between 2:45 and 3:15. So I think it's interesting. So here comes this car, and we'll look at each one, but I'm going to save this car till the end. But it does look like a 4-door sedan. It's tough to tell what color it is, but we're going to look at that. I kind of took some screenshots of it, zoomed it in. I noticed there's one thing, because I've made a video about this before, but I didn't think about when this. So there's 2 little light sources. We got this little light here at the top right. And then we also have the officer's car, which they have their headlights on. So the only time you can really kind of maybe make out the color of this car is when it's just past this pole. And I kind of froze it, but we'll look at that at the end. But we'll look at the other 3 vehicles and let you see what you guys think. Yeah, I do with my coffee. Okay, so here's our second vehicle that goes by at almost 3 o'clock. And so we'll go ahead and look at this. This is a truck. Clearly see it's a truck, which is interesting. There is some photos of, I think it's Bethany, one of the surviving roommates, where they're seen pictured in front of like a black truck. I mean, could be related, don't know. So that's our second vehicle, and there's just kind of a replay of the vehicle going by at 3 o'clock. So then we're going to kind of fast forward here. Times the next car at 3:12. So I switched over to the second officer because the other officer is in his car, so he can't really see what's going by. But for the most part, minus maybe a minute or 2 throughout the whole like 15, 20 minutes, there's most of the time they're looking at the road at some point. There's also audio, so I mean you can always tell if there's a car when they're not looking. So I've kind of watched this all the way through, just normal speed. and all I've seen is the the 4 vehicles that drove by between that window. So our next car is going to be coming up. This is the next car. So like I said, 2 cars going west and 2 vehicles heading east. So we've seen one of each. And we're going to have another one coming at 3:12. Yeah, that's true. There is also a picture of yeah, that's true. So the next vehicle is going to be coming at 3:12. So we're at 3:08, but as you can see, no other vehicles come by. And then when they were kind of off view, I was listening to the audio. Unfortunately, we can't listen to audio. When it's fast forward, it'll just be kind of annoying. All right, so the next vehicle is coming up. Kind of interested to see what you guys think, because this car, unfortunately, I think it's a truck. But curious to see what you guys think. Okay, we're getting close. Okay, so it's coming up. Yeah, unfortunately, this officer, he turns, and then, so there's not much, there's a lot blocking, unfortunately. But I think we can see something that kind of gives us an idea what kind of vehicle this is. So we see the vehicle go by at 3:12. And looks like almost like a more of a silver bumper, almost like to a truck. That's just my opinion. I'm going to zoom it in here in just a second. Curious to see what you guys think here. So here's a close-up, and we can kind of make out the bumper, which seems kind of high. I would think if it was a Hyundai Elantra, it'd be a little bit lower to the ground. Kind of curious what you guys think. Guys, if you want to look at it for a second, I'm just going to grab my coffee real quick. Okay, just seeing what you guys are saying. SUV, and I'll go ahead and play it a couple times here too as it passes by. It's another look at it. Unfortunately, there's a lot blocking. I wish this blur wasn't so big. We're gonna watch it, I think, go by one more time. Oh no, let me play it one more time where it goes by. So to me, it looks. I mean, like I said, you can kind of see the bumper a little bit. It seems kind of high. And then we can kind of see the brake light. I'm going to take a screenshot of that, and then we'll look at that after too. This is a perfect shot of the tail. That seems like an SUV, in my opinion. I don't know. That seems more like an SUV in my opinion, but let's see. And I've got screenshots of them all, and we can kind of look at that as well. But in my opinion, it kind of looks like an SUV. It could be a car. Tough to say the color because just there's not much field of view on that. Which is a bummer because this is one of the only vehicles heading west. I don't know. It seems like whatever it is it's a little bit higher off the ground. I could be wrong. Something I definitely going to look into more. Yeah, it would be nice to get the unblurred and just blur it less so it's not so big. I mean, obviously, I don't want to give away these guys' identities because I've heard that's happened. So, okay, so we've seen 3 vehicles. Yeah, SUV, like you said, it's really tough, but we'll kind of blow it up here at the end. 314. Okay, so we got one more car going. And it's coming right. And whatever this is, I'm almost positive, pretty positive this is some kind of blue car, Prius. You can definitely tell that the brake lights are higher than the headlights. So it's got like a big, rear end, a tall rear end. And I've got some screenshots of it as well. And it's going to play back again. And I think it's blue. Definitely not white. I got some screenshots of it here coming up. So we can see the headlight right here versus the tail light. So if we just did a straight line, clearly that tail light is way higher than the headlight. So definitely a car, but I would say maybe like a Prius or something that's got a big, tall kind of rear end. So there's a good picture of where we can see, headlight versus the tail light, which a Hyundai Elantra, it's even. Oh, that went by too fast. Apologies. So here's just one of the stock images of, I think this is a 2013. As you can see, the headlight proportion to the tail light is almost even. Where if we look like at a Prius, Prius has got a higher bumper or higher rear end. Yeah, hatchback. Yeah, I guess that would be the proper terminology. Okay. So that are the 4 vehicles that are seen on basically that camera. So we've got this vehicle here, which I really think could be the car, just given the fact that between the 255 and 315, that these officers, for the most part, are looking at Taylor Ave. And I did actually get a capture, and we'll look at it at the beginning here. So here's the truck heading east at 3 p.m. or 3 a.m. Excuse me. Then we have the unknown heading west, which I'm going to try to do a little bit more research on this one. But it seems like whatever this car is seems to have a little bit higher body. And then we've got the car heading east. The second car going west definitely isn't a launcher because it has DRL lights under the headlights. Ooh. So you're saying this one is definitely not an Elantra because it has the DRL lights under the headlights. Interesting. That'd be a great deduction because I really feel like that first car. So let's go back to the first car and then we'll kind of recap everything and why I think this really is interesting. So here's back to the first car. So now we know that there's 4 vehicles that go by. The first one, I think, is most likely a good possibility that this could be possibly a Hyundai Elantra. The body frame kind of fits up, but I finally found another screenshot where we can kind of see the color of the car. So I'm going to go ahead and skip forward here. So as you can see, our light source, we got to remember we got a light source. This pole has like a street light going down. And then right here, I think this is our best look at it as far as getting an idea of the color, in my opinion. Because you've got basically behind this officer parked, you have his headlights that are on, so that are pointing east. And then you also have this street lamp down. So the only time really we're going to get a look at the color of the car is as it's just passing. It's too bad this guy's standing here. We'd probably even get a really good look at the car. But yeah, looks like it's could be gray, but look, to me it's definitely a lighter car. I kind of show an example of some cars that are white that look dark because of just the way the lighting's set up. Well, thank you so much, Angie. I really appreciate that. We try to do that a lot on this channel, is to really break down stuff. So here's another slow motion. Anybody that has a Hyundai Elantra can. This is basically a whole slow motion of it. Looks like the headlight. The headlight versus the tail light seems to be. Oops, let me back it up just a little bit. So we can kind of see the tail light proportion to the headlight is pretty about the same, which a Hyundai Elantra is about at the same height. And then, like I said, we have the light source up here, and then the other car pointing at it. So the only time we'll actually kind of get an idea of possibly the color would be right after this pole, basically. And it's just so bad. It's too bad this guy is standing right here. But as you can see, and this is no filters at all, where we can kind of see the color of the car, which I think is white. So here's just kind of an example of, what a white car can look like in certain situations. As you can tell, you can't really tell the color of the car, but this is actually a white car. It's just, the way the lighting's set up that you can't really tell. So I just kind of wanted to show an example of, how a white car, even though. But yeah, I took out the one phone. Oh, that's a bummer. Anyway, but if you look up on the stock images, this is a white car. It's even titled "White Car in the Dark." You just can't, tell because of the just the lighting, the way it's set up. Let me quickly grab these. Thank you so much, Esperanza Martinez, for becoming a member. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. That really goes a long way. Thank you so much. And Haley Shroop, hi Chris in chat. Been a member for 1 month. Thank you so much. That's so awesome. Let's see. Chris, what about the stop it scream at 255 on this body cam? Sorry if you talked about it already. I did break that down. If we get a chance, I will. Yeah, I'll show you. I've got a short little video of it. I did break down what I think that is. So we'll look into that. Okay, so a few more things I just wanted to point out. So like I said, we kind of know that this is good chance this is a white to gray car. I think it's a good chance it's white. I'm not 100% sure if this is a Hyundai Elantra, but I mean, if we kind of just look at the overall timeline of things. So this person, you guys can see everything. Let's do that. That's better. So here's kind of our breakdown of what the guy says. He sees a car between 2:45 and 3:15. So the officers get there at 2:50, but we really don't see what's on their at the road until about 2:55. But from basically 2:55 to 3:15, so 20 minutes out of that whole 30 minutes, this guy says that this car goes west. We do see a car. We got two cars heading west, one at 2:58, one at 3:12. The one at 3:12, I'm going to try to see if I can get some more research on it, maybe get a hold of a copy that doesn't have that blur, maybe get a better idea of what that car is. But I have a strong suspicion that this could be the Hyundai Elantra at 2:58 because, I mean, other than that, we only have 10 minutes that are unknown before that. And I mean, it's possible it could have came before that. But it would make more sense that this car probably arrived because they're saying that the attack happened between 3 and 4 a.m. So that'd be kind of weird that the car shows up at 2:45 and, they're still making their calls and stuff and they're up. I mean, I could be wrong. This is just kind of basic deduction. So the odds are it's more likely going to be caught in this time window. So the other thing that I was just thinking about, thank you so much, Angie, for becoming a member. And that's so awesome. Really helps supporting this channel. You guys are awesome. And Haley Shroop, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. That really, really helps. Yeah, there's a lot of. That's the problem. It's kind of like a double-edged sword with letting this Hyundai Elantra out. Is everybody's looking on Google Earth and on Google Street and seeing all these cars that are around the area. I mean, I know most people are just trying to help, but yeah, I've seen so many, and so I'm just kind of afraid to show any, especially if they might have a license plate on them. I don't want, because there's probably only maybe one, possibly two killers, but you got one car, and they're looking at what 20,000 cars or whatever, so there's probably going to be a lot of mistakes. So, but here's the other thing that's interesting that I was just kind of noticing. If we just kind of look at the overview of the house and everything. So they say that this car's caught between 2:45 and 3:15 a.m. Now, in this same article, it says, I downloaded, gave them access from to everything from 2 a.m. through noon, 2 a.m. through noon on that Sunday. And then, we read through, and there's not much else except then he says, this car is seen traveling west between 2:45 and 3:15. I'm not trying to repeat myself, but I'm just going to make an argument. So if it's caught heading west at 2:45, between 2:45 and 3:15, there's no mention, and he gave them the footage between 2 and noon. There's no mention of the car heading east. So I wonder if that kind of gives us an idea of which way possibly, if this is the killer or witness, either one. Makes me wonder, because there's two ways out. So, this is kind of a dead end here. But once we come out of King Road, let's pull up Google Earth here. So once you head out of King Road, there's two ways to go. You can go right back on Taylor Ave, but now they could just been kept this a secret and didn't mention that it's captured, later on leaving, heading west or east, excuse me. Or I wonder if that kind of confirms that whenever they left, they took Walenta Drive, which, would loop out here, kind of snakes around, but you can end up, coming out of, if you follow Walenta Drive, then you can kind of come out south or east, kind of snake around. But I just thought that was kind of interesting that they don't mention anything about it heading back. So it makes me wonder, did the car actually, after the murders took place, then the suspect ended up heading through Walenta Drive. which is mostly, I mean, if we kind of look at it, basically kind of residential, so they're kind of trying to lay low and maybe try to avoid the bigger streets and the camera. Would kind of make sense, because if you head on Taylor Ave, you're going to go right and get captured on one of these major highway cameras. I mean, I'm sure that there's, we know that they're definitely digging into a lot of surveillance, expanding, 20, 30 miles, almost like they have a direction of this person going, which is interesting. We'll look at that as well. Ooh, real Pocahontas. Pull up a Chevy Cobalt 2016. Kind of has a higher butt and is a coupe. The windows look just like a Cobalt. Interesting. Let me write that down. I just had my pen. Oh, it's right here. I'm sitting on it. Okay. Chevy Cobalt. And thank you so much, Pocahontas. That's so awesome. You guys are awesome. Chevy Cobalt. Curious, are you talking about which car? The first or second one? Definitely have to check that out. Chevy Cobalt 2006. Thank you. Let me get to this. Emma Corrigan. Hope I pronounced that right. Thank you so much for becoming a member. You are so awesome. And one more real quick. Sunny Ways. I like that. Great name. Thank you so much for the $4 super sticker. Okay. Yeah, I will definitely check that out, because one of the things that I've seen a lot with social media is it seems like what happened is, what am I doing? Is we had the body cam footage come out, and then we had a lot of people. Here, let's see which way would be the best way to do this. Okay, let's do it this way. Okay. So when the body cam footage came out, we had a lot of people that were like, "Oh, here's the white car. There's the white car, right here." And I guess maybe they just didn't really fully watch the whole video. And of course, when they first released body cam footage, it wasn't the whole thing. It was kind of edited. I think it was just to where he was walking up to a car. So I don't think they knew at the time that this car was the actual undercover car. So, and then after that is when they said, hey, that car in the body cam footage is not the car that we're looking for. So I think this kind of deterred everybody to really research. And I'm not saying everybody, but I think it deterred a lot of people to research the full body cam footage, because they're like, no, the car that's seen in the body cam footage is not the car, but they're talking about this one because this is obviously the officers. But my biggest worry is this car, which a lot of people tell me, and if you see my video, they posted this picture on a Reddit subreddit that is, what is this car? And, you've got basically, whatever shop guys and mechanics, whatever, that kind of look at these pictures and then, give their best idea. And with this car, they say, no, this is an old video. The biggest answer on that was they believe that this car was a Toyota Prius. So, and I don't know that 100%, but they definitely put up a big argument as to why they think it's a Toyota Prius. And so I just kind of want to bring that to everybody's attention, that I think some people are getting too focused on that one car and maybe overlooking that other surveillance. So moving on, I've got some other things as well. Let's see, we've got the full surveillance. We can look at that here in just a second. There's one more thing. Oh, this is something. So there has been some other stuff released, which is some body cam footage that was taken on September 1st. We've kind of heard, in the last couple of weeks that, obviously it's college, and they have parties, and unfortunately they've had a couple noise complaints. Anyway, so there's a surveillance video of some officers showing up and kind of, talking to some of the people that are at the house, just saying, hey, there's a noise complaint. So anyway, someone took this screenshot right here. I think this is great because this gives us an answer that the door, as you can see the doorknob right here. This is the bedroom to the right, which I'm not sure which one, if it's Bethany or Dylan, but this kind of gives us an idea that this door did not have the keypad lock, because there's been a lot of misinformation because before this house, at one point inside the house, it did have the keypad locks in it. But I think since now they've either changed them or whatever, but we know at least this first 4 bedroom, this one did not have a lock on it, or, the keypad lock on it. And also, let's see, did I bring it? There it is. And this is from the TikTok video. Here's one of the bedrooms. I think this might actually be the spare bedroom because it's got the stairs here. But as we can see, this has got a regular lock on it. Whereas this picture here, I think, is the front door. So at least 2 out of the 4 bedrooms did not, unless they changed it within the last week or so. Let's see, September, I guess a couple months. But depending on which when this TikTok video came out. But at least 2 out of the 4 bedrooms, there you can see the lock, and it looks just like a regular doorknob. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Yes, Chris, I was wondering about that white there. Yeah, no special locks on the door. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to, is because we've heard conflicting reports on that. So I kind of wanted to set the record straight on that. Oh, Dylan's bedroom was to the right. Okay, you're right, because I think what happened is before the murders, she was on the 2nd floor bedroom, which is opposite of Xana's bedroom. And then I think she moved downstairs, is what I'm hearing. But I don't know that. That's not like fact. That's just rumor. But I've seen some talk about that she was on the 2nd floor for a bit, because I think there's actually some footage of that bedroom on the 1st floor, and there's nothing really in the bedroom. I think there's like some golf clubs. So clearly, maybe she, because maybe the one bedroom I think was smaller, and that bedroom downstairs is much bigger. Okay, so moving on. Let's look at the new surveillance. I kind of broke that down and what was said, and then for those that kind of missed the first part, we'll kind of recap everything and all the 4 cars and kind of get your guys' ideas on what you guys think for each car. So let's do this one. What's up? Okay. So they released, so at first it was just a still image with some audio, but that's funny because after I made this video, they uploaded the actual video. But I was really happy because I was able to actually figure out where the camera was at. And sweatshirt, and then of course we have hoodie. So yeah, we've got Maddie. I'm just gonna turn myself down. So we got Maddie and Kaylee, and then we got Hoodie Guy. So obviously Hoodie Guy showed up sometime at the bar, and then is as Joe, basically the tan hat guy here. He said that this guy Jack, Hoodie Guy, was basically there to escort the girls. So we'll kind of get a little timeline going here. So here we're on Main Street. We've got the corner club right here, which the girls were there from, what was it, like 10 to 1:30? And then, so they exited and walked along this sidewalk here. And this was before the actual full video came out, but I was looking down the whole street, and there's like 3 blocks until you get to the grub truck. But I was trying to look for a camera, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's the camera right there. And it looked like it kind of matched up because you could see the tree, the shadow of the tree, and the shadow of the pole here. So the camera that captures these 3 walking is this camera right here, which makes sense because they're kind of just left the bar, and the short conversation that is heard is, Maddie, what'd you say to Adam? And we'll break down the audio. But anyway, so I think they were walking on this side here. So this video, I kind of broke down where I thought they were at. Of course, this was before they released the actual video. And so I'm assuming they walked, a couple 3 blocks. So it's about a 4 to 5 minute walk to where the grub truck is set up. So this grub truck would have been set up pretty much right where this little Volkswagen's at. And we can kind of tell because this building here is blue, and we can kind of... So this is where the grub truck was at, and then, you would have had that black SUV that picks them up, probably pull up where this, maybe a little past the Subaru here. But as you can see in the back, you can kind of see the blue building with the little planter, cylinder planter boxes there. And, it's got the same thing, planter box. The other one's right here. They're kind of blocking that. So we'll skip forward. And then, of course, here we've got the 2 girls. They're just getting their food. And they dip out. And from what that Joe Tanhat guy said, that he just sees what looks to be kind of like a black SUV show up. Guy gets out, says, hey guys, hurry up, or something like that, and then they get in the car and they leave. So we'll look at the audio.
What did you say to Adam? I told Adam.
So basically, it's Maddie. Let me go back here.
I told.
Oh, go back far enough. There we go.
What did you say to Adam?
So obviously it'd be Kaylee talking. So you got Kaylee saying, Maddie, what'd you say to Adam? And then
I told Adam.
She says, I told Adam everything. So anyway, I've heard Adam is like the bartender there. And then I've also heard that he's not a bartender anymore or something like that. There's speculation that he knows Jack. And then I've even seen that there's possibly 2 Adams that they could have been talking about. Or it might just be the same Adam that knows Jack and is the bartender. I've kind of heard 2 stories going on. I've been trying not to dive too much into these kind of persons of interest. Well, I wouldn't say persons of interest, but just these, kids, because 99% of them are innocent. We just got the one killer, and the last things I want to do is get everybody riled up on a certain individual because apparently that's been going on already, and people are being harassed, and we don't want that on our channel. So that's why we kind of stick to the vehicle and what we can do to kind of help on that. But let's look at the students here. So now they did finally release the video here. Man, I am gonna have to. Now this is interesting because the original audio, and I just had no idea until watching this. This whatever this first part is I'm hearing was not in the original, so this is kind of interesting. I could maybe break down this, because this actually sounds like, for once, hoodie guy talking. Yeah, he's saying something. I cannot tell what it is, but I could try to break it down. Interesting. Perfectly Imperfect. Another channel just announced that the Wi-Fi was down sometime during the morning hours, the day of the murders. It was reported to authorities by a tech guy. Interesting. Are you talking about like the home itself, like the Wi-Fi at the home was down? Curious which Wi-Fi, if you could elaborate on that. Kind of curious. It's Jack's roommate. There are pics of Adam with Murphy, the dog, in their house. Okay, thank you, KY. Interesting. Break it down. Okay, maybe yeah, maybe we can. I'll have to run it through some filters. We'll kind of recap because I see more people in here. Probably missed the first part. We'll just speed up that. Just a quick recap for those that might have missed the main thing I was trying to do for today, and that is kind of show that I think there's a great possibility that this Hyundai Elantra was caught on the surveillance. So we'll just kind of do a quick recap, and then I will show you guys how I break down the audio. You guys can see firsthand. Okay, I need to go here. So if you missed the first part, I'll just kind of quickly explain it. We're not going to watch the whole thing. We'll just break it down to the 4 cars. So basically, we know that the surveillance, actually probably the best thing to show before we play this would be to show this. So we know from that recent article that came out 3 or 4 days ago that said that the landlord that owns this property here had detectives show up the next day after the murders looking for surveillance. He happened to have a camera that looks down Linda Lane, and you can see Taylor Avenue. And he says that they collected surveillance from 2 a.m. to noon on Sunday the 13th. And then towards the end of the article, he says that there is a car that is caught going between 245 and 315 heading west. And it's just what's so interesting is you have the officers that are there from basically 250 to 315 and from basically 255 to 315. So 20 minutes out of the 30 minutes, they're basically looking at Taylor Ave, and you have 4 vehicles that go by, 2 heading west and 2 going east. Obviously, we're interested in the cars heading west. And so here is the first car. And this one's captured at 2:58. So almost right in the middle of that window that this person gives us. That there's this car, and a lot of people were kind of discouraged because you couldn't tell what color it was. And some people would say, well, that's not white, but it's too dark. But now we know we've got light sources, because this is a light pole. And then we also have the officer's car that is got its headlights pointing east. So we would technically see kind of the front end, and it's just like it says, too bad this guy's standing here. We'd be able to kind of see, but there is some spots that we can kind of see that this is like this one right here. To me, this, you can kind of see the white. It's a little bright. I've got another picture right here. I think that's the best picture. And I think that shows that's most likely a white car. So moving forward, I watched every video. I watched the entire video to see how many cars went by between that 20-minute period. There's 4 of them. There's this car, which I think is good possibility that this car could be the White Hyundai Elantra. It's definitely some kind of 4-door sedan, in my opinion. The headlight to tail light ratio is pretty close to the Hyundai Elantra. So that's the first car. And then, like I said, I kind of fast forward it. And so the second vehicle that's seen is a truck that's heading east at 3 a.m. And I've got screenshots of the truck. So that's the first 2 vehicles that are caught on camera. And then we've got 2 more vehicles that go by. Krista Cole, thank you so much for becoming a member. Sorry, I got something in my throat. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. That's so awesome. So coming up, we're going to have another car going by at 3:14. I'll kind of skip it. Or 3:12. Sandy Floyd, Chris, thanks for all your detailed work on the case. Thank you so much, Sandy Floyd. That means so much. Thank you so much for the $10. That really helps. You guys are so awesome. And Lou Bailey, thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. You guys are so awesome. So our next car is at 3:12. So I'm going to go ahead and skip it forward here. Now this one's the one that's really hard to tell, because unfortunately there's a lot of blur. So here it's going to come here in just a second. There it goes by. I kind of zoom in. So here we can kind of see the license plate. Headlights. To me, the headlights seem like they're a little bit higher up, but that's just my opinion. Kind of curious what you guys think. Then we can kind of make out a bumper. Seems a little bit slightly higher off the ground. It's kind of tough to tell. Can't really make out much there. I could probably run some filters. I do got a screenshot of the tail lights, which I think look to me more like a kind of a SUV type vehicle. Anyway, we'll look at that. So that's the Cobalt. Okay, so you guys are saying that might be the Cobalt there. Interesting. So that's what I think. I mean, just, doing the basic math and deduction. I mean, and with this person saying, this car is captured in this timeline, this time frame, time window, whatever, and you just happen to have a car at 2:58 that is like pretty spot on, and that is like right dead center in the time frame. Makes me wonder if these guys got a dash cam. And here's our last car going by. Now this is the other car heading east. Same car. The thing that we can make out with this one is that the headlight versus the tail light is much higher up. It's got kind of like a hatchback, as people were saying. So clearly got a bigger rear end. So here's a still image. You can see the tail light versus the headlight. So much higher rear end. Same thing, another still image. And this one looks higher up. So that is the 4 cars. So we have the the 2 heading west and 2 heading east. And then this is the rest of the video. There's no other cars that are captured between that time frame. That one looks more boxy. Yeah. I would agree with that term. I know. That's what's a shame is if they were not okay. And so here's just kind of a look at each vehicle real quick at the end here. And then we'll break down the audio, see if we can hear anything. Kind of curious if we can hear what Hoodie Guy says. So here we've got the 258 car heading west, which I think is a great possibility. We've got the 3 o'clock truck heading east. We've got the 312 unknown, really tough just because there's so much blur. I'm still got to do some more research on that. Curious to check the comments after this is done. And then 314. So, but yeah, be crazy if this was the Hyundai Elantra. I mean, like I said, there's just so much leaning towards that. It's a great possibility. And the other argument too is that they never talk about seeing the car go east. So it just makes me wonder if they have the footage from 2 a.m. to noon, and there's no mention of seeing the car heading east from the home. Makes me wonder if the car, after leaving, instead of heading on Taylor Avenue, took a left and went on Walenta Drive, and then just kind of snaked out the back way, which would kind of make sense. You know, you're kind of trying to stay low, and you're in kind of the neighborhood. Okay, let's break down this audio. So, where is it? Students walking. All right. I'm going to show you guys how I do this. Walking. Bert. Yep. Voila. All right. Perfect. Okay. Let's see if we can hear anything else. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and import desktop. This PC. Students walking. There we go. Okay. So it's got to be at the beginning here. Okay. So we already know what the girls are saying. So we're going to go ahead and just delete that. Probably get rid of this first little bit. Okay. So let's go ahead and run the filters and see if we can hear something. So this is kind of what I do with my normal uploads after I'm done. So I run a couple filters. You'll see here in a second, it's going to give it more body. You're going to see it kind of like fill out here. Just like that. I run a compressor. Okay, perfect. So much better. Looks a lot different than the original. tone it down just a little bit. Okay. Let's see if we can hear what is said. Hold on, let's see if we can turn this up a little bit. You can definitely hear it's a male talking, that's for sure. It's definitely a hoodie guy talking. There's a lot of kind of a little bit of back street noise, ambient noise. Tough to say. I'd have to maybe run a few more filters, and that would take a lot longer. But he's definitely talking, and it sounds like one of the two girls kind of say something real quickly, responding to whatever. I'm going to play it one more time. But you can definitely tell that he's saying something. But obviously, you got to keep in mind at that point, they're obviously the audio, they're not going to hear it till they get closer. So the further away, the more ambient noise we hear and less of their voice until they get closer. But yeah, I'll have to see if I can dig into that a little bit more. But that definitely is something that you can hear a male talking. Clearly, it's got to be this hoodie guy. Just something short, but yeah, a lot of traffic noise. Yeah, there's a few filters I could. I mean, I'm no professional expert. I know basic, just from putting videos together. I know the basics, but I could maybe try to do a little bit more work on it later on. But definitely hear him talking a little bit. Nothing big. Could you have caption on it? Maybe I could pick it up. Ooh. Well, actually, I do have CC going right now. Kind of curious what probably picked up. I have no idea. So I'm just kind of seeing what you're saying. Hey, Steve from True Crime Web. If no map apps used show familiarity, boy, I can't say that word. With area, if map apps used may identify users in the area at the time of the murders. With area, if map apps used may identify users in the area. I mean, yeah, with technology these days, they kind of know where everybody's at if you got your phone on. Chris, do you think if there was more than one involved, that they would have used the same style knife or two different knives or weapons? Ooh, that's a good question. Gosh, that would be a good question for Steve. Yeah, that's interesting. That is a good question. I would think they would have different styles, but I guess that's something you'd have to kind of look back and see what other crimes that with two people, kind of do some research on previous crimes that are somewhat in this category but were committed by two people, and were they using the same thing or so I had a poll going. I always forget to end my poll, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. So I asked you, do you think the killer or killers have traveled out of state? 30% you said yes. 46, so the majority says no. You think the killer or killers are hiding in plain sight. And we've got 24% not sure. So, Chris is giving away his secrets. Yeah. It's just kind of education. Okay. Apparently someone turned off the servers in the area, so hence no footage from Wi-Fi. Interesting. Let's just kind of see what the latest is. They talk about that at all. Kind of curious. Oh, we got a new press release or what? No, that's December 7th. That's interesting. Suspect out there somewhere. PD's not sure if the 2013. So similar looking cars possible. Kaylee's dad thinks killer borrowed or had in parents' name. I mean, that's definitely a possibility. Car anywhere from our, well, I don't think a rental would be kind of a gamble, but yeah, it could be a friend's car. So many possibilities with that. Let's see. Okay, new press release. Let's see what we got here. Number of tips and leads that have come in as part of the investigation has hit the 10,000 mark. Wow. Investigators continue to have same level of resources, including a dedicated team reviewing digital content, which I'm sure there's a lot. Digital submissions of tips and leads are not made public by investigators as part of the ongoing commitment to keep information safe because it can be a powerful tool in the investigation process. Progress continues to be made in finding information about the 2011-2013 Hyundai Elantra in the immediate area of King Road residents during the early morning hours of November 13th. Investigators continue to believe the occupants of this vehicle may have critical information to share regarding this case. And that's why I've been going through that body cam footage, because I knew that they are looking at that Taylor Ave Road for a good period, a good 20 minutes. So not only is it possible that they captured it on that one camera, but like I said, I think that one car may be that Hyundai Elantra. At this time, no suspect has been identified, and only vetted information that does not hinder the investigation will be released to the public. We encourage referencing official releases for accurate and updated info. Digital media video can be submitted. Oh, that's interesting. So if you have any digital video that you want to tip in, like surveillance, they've got this little link right here. I'll have to put that in my description at the end because I can't do it right now. And then there was let's see, update video. Click on that link. Let's see. Not really an update. Oh, well, let me click on it. Anyway, I guess Fry did another kind of. Oh, yep, here he is.
Where are we at with the number of tips that have come in and leads?
We've had right around 10,000 tips come in. We're reviewing all those tips. We're checking to ensure that we have individuals who look at those tips and any piece of evidence that they can link to this case, they're doing so.
What about the video evidence? How is that reviewed? What do you do with it?
So we have a special team of individuals who are skilled at watching videos, collecting evidence and information out of those videos and linking them together so that we can tie every piece together for this investigation.
What do you have for an update about the White Hyundai Elantra?
We have many tips that have come in on the 2011 to the 2013 Hyundai Elantra. But what we're asking is anybody else who still hasn't sent in a tip, if you own one or if you know somebody who was driving one the day before or the day after, to please send that tip in.
What about the holidays? What does that mean for the investigation and all the people working on it?
That does not change anything for us. We're going to continue to push through the holidays. We have a team that will continue to do the investigation and work on that as we move through the holidays.
And finally, why is it important to keep video digital submissions part of the investigation as it's sorted through?
Well, as our individuals are sorting through that, all that information could be one key piece for this investigation. So they're reviewing all that, they're looking at that, and they're looking for any keys that tie together any specific investigative pieces that we need to solve this case.
Yeah, I think that's great. Having like a place where we can upload the digital media. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Let's see, do I got it here? New. Yeah, I was doing a little research on that. So this is what you're talking about. So yeah, this was found in Oregon. Now just looking at it from here, it's like, ooh, it took the license plate. But when you start to actually look at the vehicle and all the photos, this looks like a hit and run and somebody ditched the vehicle, in my personal opinion. We never know, but this just looks like possibly like a DUI and this guy freaked out and ditched it. That would be my speculation on that, but yeah, I did see that. I don't know if people have seen all the photos. I think a lot of people just saw this photo here and kind of got excited. I mean, I know people are just trying to do the right thing, and it doesn't hurt to maybe tip that in. But to me, this looks like a DUI, and then maybe, gosh, I don't know. I mean, it seems like a terrible wreck. But so anyway, that's what he's talking. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. But so anywho, let's see, what do we got? We start at 12:30. Man, time goes by fast. So if you missed the first part, I would go check it out. Like I said, we looked at all the footage, and there's 4 cars that are captured on that body cam footage. I think one of those cars could be the car, which is the first one at 2:58. I'm going to do a little more research on the other car because it's kind of hard to see. If anybody knows if there's a unfiltered version of the body cam footage, I've heard rumors about it, and can send it to me, that would be great. I would just use it, just to look at the cars. I'm not going to show the kids' faces because we don't want to be doing that. Yeah, that's I mean, if you honestly, Susan, and just a lot of people, I mean, if you go down a lot of these roads, I mean, you're going to see tons of just white cars, and I'm sure they've I mean, there's just so many. I mean, that's possibly a Hyundai Elantra right there. I mean, there's so many just around in this area. I think that's a Subaru. You've got this car here. That's a Ford. Oops, that one changes. But there was that TikTok video, which kind of looks like the boyfriend. Oops, no, need to go back one more. Oh, how far back do I get to go? There we go. But yeah, there is a TikTok video where he's up on the roof here, and you look down, and it does look kind of like a possible Hyundai Elantra. Then you've got this one here, which clearly this is back in 2007, so that the street. So it looks like when they came back around Google Earth or Google, I guess they didn't drive down that street. So this changes to 2007 if you go any further. Just one more thing I want to add. Now, I know it's been a year, but one thing that's kind of interesting is you don't see the acceleration marks. I mean, it is October 2021, so it's been a whole year, but I think that's interesting that you would have. Where are you? Oh, I'm in the wrong one. That you would have those acceleration marks, which would make sense. If this vehicle drove up there, unfortunately murdered the student, and then got in the car, kind of peeled out, and left those marks there. And then the other little argument I was making earlier, if you missed it, is that they never mentioned the car going east. And so it's a good possibility this car headed out through Walenta Drive. And in that time frame, we see from 2:55 to 3:15, we've got one car heading west at 2:58, a truck heading east at 3. We got another car heading west at 3:12, but I don't think it's a Hyundai Elantra. Not sure what it is. And then another car at 3:14. So I don't know, but my money is on that 258. So with that, like I said, if anybody knows if there's that some video out there of that body cam that doesn't have the blurred, if you can send it to me, that'd be great. I'm just gonna look at your guys' comments for a minute here. Okay, yeah, I thought I've heard there was some on Verge, because like I guess they used it and they showed all the kids' faces, and and I definitely don't want to do that. Um, Chris, you listen to the food truck audio starting just before Tan Hat Guy leaves. There's a group yelling into me. It's like I hear them yell Xana. Okay. I will find that video and I'll make a note of it and see. I can write that down. Interesting. Good to see you, Lady M. I hope you have a great day. I might try to go live later tonight. I have another presentation I'm trying to get finished here. Thank you so much, Jackie B. Like I said, this is more just on the car itself. And I've been really trying to be careful because, like he says, with a lot of people getting harassed with the ex-boyfriend, I know, he seems like a big suspect or, person of interest because, there's the 10 phone calls to the girls, or the two girls call him just before these murders happen. It seems a little suspicious. But if the car is any indication that this belongs to the killer, I think it's huge, and that they'll be able to kind of really cross a lot of people off their list if it is just more than just a witness that saw these kids. Let's try to find one more thing before we college 2. This one. Anyway, I was going to show where they were looking at. Is it on this one? Maybe it's in the top 5. Oh, I've got to do some organizing. But anyway, I was going to show you guys the possible path because they were looking 30 miles out. Anywho, let's see. Anything else they've got? Just the new press release. So I see this coming, but I don't know what this source is. So somebody's like taking a picture of one of the cars, but this is the problem is I'm afraid that they're taking this picture from the gas station, which we don't know 100% if that is the car. So that's what I'm worried about, is if that's what they're taking it from. But I don't know. I'll have to do some research on it. So anyway, I'm going to try to do another live later tonight. I just want to say thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day. I'm going to be trying to break down some other stuff. Maybe dip into Delphi tonight. Maybe do a half and half show. Just because I haven't gone live for a couple days. But the Scream. That's right. You guys wanted to hear the Scream. I did. Yeah, I'll show you guys because I did debunk that. Well, I wouldn't say debunk it, but let's see. Scream. Okay, what video was that? Take me a second to find it. Here it is. Scream. And it's literally labeled Scream. Okay. Pretty sure.
They could break open any time.
No, this is the neighbor's scream. Oh, this is it. Oh, no, that's not it. It's in the top 5. Top 5. What's up? Yep, here it is. Okay, so this is what I think it is. So it's captured at 312 noise, and so I'm going to play that. It's real short. Keep in mind that these two officers are standing right next to the car. So there's a possibility it could be a scream, and those officers may not react because if you're by a sound source and that's gonna kind of block your hearing. Whereas, like, let's say if you have two individuals that are kind of like far apart, like 100 feet apart, and they're talking, yelling at each other, but one guy's got like some noise, like a car next to him, really loud car next to him. The guy that's all alone, he's going to be able to hear what the guy is saying, but the guy that's standing next to the car may not hear what the guy that's not next to a car is saying because he's got this noise that's kind of blocking him. So keep that in mind. That could be, but I really think this is just kind of a mechanical noise. That's real short, but it's at 3:12:45. It's real quick. It does sound kind of distant. So this came out just shortly after the body cam footage. And so I think it is some brake sounds. And so I'm going to go ahead and play.
Your brakes ever squealed? Your brakes ever squealed? Your brakes ever squealed?
So that's my deduction on that. Since it's just so short, I mean, we don't know 100%, but it sounds, I've seen a lot of people say mechanical and ow. I think that's like the top two. So, but anyway, so there's that. So anyway, I think that will do it. And if you emailed me, I will, because I haven't checked my email for a couple days. I've been kind of busy, so I'm going to get to that right after this show. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for the support. It really helps. And just, if you could, please leave a like. Thank you so much to the mods for all your hard work. Karen Lee, Copper Horse, Jennifer, Lady M, of course, Nightbot, and then just thank you everybody that donated and being a member. And we're gonna have some more member stuff, and then we're also gonna do a video, kind of end of the year video, kind of just looking back at the whole year. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So I'm gonna do a regular show and then a members only show, kind of looking back at everything, and also a thank you video for the whole year. So it'll be a lot of fun. So close details one, unique markings. Yeah, that's a good idea, Mark B. I definitely need to look at some those like specific details that what make a Hyundai Elantra, unique to anything else. So 255. Okay, okay, don't go anywhere. Let's look. 255, huh? So it'd have to be when they're closer. Okay.
Date of birth. 2001. Like one. How'd you pull that one off? That's an awesome birthday.
Yeah, lucky birthday.
You got a driver's license?
I don't have it.
No, in general.
I do have one, yeah.
What state is it through?
Is that it? Is that what you're talking about? A little party?
How'd you pull that one off? That's an awesome birthday.
Yeah, lucky birthday.
You got a driver's license?
I don't have it.
What? No, in general.
I do have one, yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Sounds kind of like a whoop. I'll play through all of 255 though.
What state is it through?
Idaho.
Idaho. Okay, perfect. I'm just gonna check if everything's good. Since they're not open, I'll let you hang on to them.
Okay.
So
Will I get charged with anything?
No,
or?
no.
Okay. Appreciate it.
But it's just enough for me to stop, check, make sure you're 21, walking around here in public.
Alrighty.
Moscow 77, check one. What's that?
Am I gonna take off? Or?
No, let me run this through dispatch and make sure you're actually 21 and give me a fake birthday or anything.
Oh, thank you, Tracy. Yeah, there's
2001, male through Idaho. Well, yeah.
Oh, buddy. That's funny.
So yeah, I did kind of hear like a whoop whoop, but don't sound like a scream or anything. I mean, I could be wrong, but so anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Like I said, this channel we try to focus more on just kind of like doing research. I've been trying to stay away from the speculation just because everybody's getting harassed, and so it kind of deters me from really breaking down like persons of interest. And I think especially with the car now, if they really feel like that's going to be like their main lead, I think that's really going to cross a lot of people off their list, depending on how much they know. So, but yeah, we'll definitely dive into that a little bit more. But yeah, I'm going to try to go live later tonight with some Delphi stuff mixed with both, because there's a few other things I'm trying to break down for you guys. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm going to go ahead and play our outro for the pet outro. It's kind of Christmas theme. I'm still trying to get a few more pets in. So if you're new to the channel, if you have a loved one that went missing recently, I do try to help with this channel. I try to give back by showing the missing at the beginning of every show. And so if you have a friend or family that just recently went missing and they don't have the exposure, please email me. That's for the missing, not like cases that are like unsolved. That's something we're going to try to work into later on. We're going to, that's what's unique about this channel is we don't just cover stuff. We're try to go out and actually do stuff just like the Dylan Rounds case. Just right now, since it's winter time, it's kind of got me kind of grounded right now, because of winter. But we are going to be getting back out on the road and trying to help some cold cases and stuff. So with that said, I love you guys, and we will see you guys later. You're not allowed to stop.